August 27, 2006, Lexington Airport in Kentucky. Flight 5191, a Bombardier CRJ 100-passenger aircraft, was preparing to leave for Atlanta, Georgia. Registered with Delta Connection 5191, this flight was operated by Comair Company on behalf of Delta Connection. The flight was led by 35-year-old Captain Jeffrey Clay, and as first officer, 44-year-old pilot James Polhinke. 2 days prior to the incident, First Officer James Polhinke flew alongside Captain Jeffrey Clay. James observed that while Captain Jeffrey was amiable and at ease in conversation, he was also meticulous about adhering to the rules. Their camaraderie in the cockpit made their collaboration effortless and pleasant, creating a conducive and productive working environment. Besides that, other pilots who had the chance to fly with Captain Jeffrey also viewed him as a wise and experienced captain. According to all of them, Captain Jeffrey never faced any difficulties in understanding the flight routes or the airport runway directions. Captain Jeffrey boasted an impressive flying experience of 4,710 hours, out of which around 3,082 hours were dedicated to flying a similar CRJ 100-passenger aircraft. Similarly, First Officer James Polhinke accumulated a total of 6,564 flying hours, with approximately 3,564 hours spent operating a similar CRJ 100 aircraft. His extensive exposure to this type of plane made him equally proficient in handling its controls, just like Captain Jeffrey. According to Captain Jeffrey, First Officer James was also an experienced pilot who could handle any kind of condition well during the flights. The two pilots, along with a cabin crew, slowly board the 47-passenger plane. While preparing for flight at the boarding gate, both pilots listen to the ATC message, in which he tells them that runway 22 has been set for their flight.
Good morning, Comair 191 is going Atlanta with Alpha.
Comair 191, Lexington clearance clear to Atlanta Airport via Bowling Green, Erlin 2 arrival, maintaining 6,000. Expect flight level 27010 minutes after departure. Departure is 120.75, squawk 6641.
Okay, got Bowling Green, missed the other part, 6,020.75, 6641.
Comair 191, it's Erlin 2, Echo Romeo, Lima, India, November 2 arrival.
Erlin 2, appreciate it, Comair 191.
Having comprehended their assigned runway and airport routes, the pilots initiate the plane's roll-off process. Furthermore, Captain Jeffrey provides First Officer James with information about the takeoff runway, specifying that they will use runway 22 for departure. In the pilot plane's navigation system, the magnetic direction of runway 22 is also set at 227 degrees. Throughout their conversation and preparation, there were no signs of confusion or difficulty for either of the two pilots in understanding the designated takeoff runway.
Ground camera 191, just give you a heads up on a push.
Comair 191, advisor to protection.
Roger.
At approximately 5:59 in the morning, the captain issues the order to push the plane back, and the ground staff initiates the plane's movement along the taxiway. Around 6 in the morning, the pilots start the left and right engines of the plane one by one.
Second started any pros went too low. Hydraulics checked APRs on, FMS, we got runway 22 out of Lexington up to 6. Pressure vessels are on, building crossroads manual, ignition is off, altimeter is 3000, course forward, course checked. Comair 191 is ready to taxi, we have Alpha.
Comair 191, taxi runway 22, altimeter 3000, and the winds are 2008.
The ATC controller instructs the pilots to proceed to runway 22 via the taxiway and permits them to cross runway 26 without stopping. As seen in the animation, the pilots taxi along the designated routes, crossing runway 26 and heading towards runway 22 for takeoff. First Officer James remains engaged with the ATC controller while understanding the airport route.
3000 and taxi 22 command 181.
After receiving permission from the ATC tower, Captain Jeffrey cautiously moves the plane along the taxiway. During this time, he and First Officer James engage in some personal conversation in the cockpits. However, airline safety rules prohibit pilots from engaging in personal conversations during taxiing to ensure their complete focus on the flight. Unaware of the runway confusion, Captain Jeffrey stops the plane on runway 26, believing it to be the takeoff runway. The captain has no inkling that he must cross this runway to reach runway 22 for takeoff. Unfortunately, First Officer James also fails to recognize the error and lands on the wrong runway. Notably, runway 26 is too short for commercial planes to take off or land. Unfortunately, First Officer James remains oblivious to the mistake and proceeds with the standard procedure, making a welcome announcement to the passengers and carefully going through the takeoff checklist.
We're going to be on the way momentarily. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Kelly, when you have a chance, back up. Take that's complete. Airport received gas.
Check tank cleared.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, I see 7, but it's...
Yeah, there's a green extra one there with it.
Airport received gas check clear. Cruise to flight takeoff checks flight.
Alright.
Ready.
All set.
During their preparation, both pilots occasionally remark on the runway lights appearing different, yet they do not realize the grave error they have made.
Yeah, it's weird with no lights.
Yeah.
Around 6:05 in the morning, First Officer James informs the ATC controller that they are ready for takeoff, and the controller grants them permission. Throughout the conversation, neither the pilots nor the ATC controller confirm the runway number even once. As the permission is received, Captain Jeffrey positions the plane at the starting line of the runway in preparation for takeoff. If you liked our video, please encourage us by clicking on the like and subscribe buttons. We are really grateful to you for your kind cooperation. Thanks a lot. Upon reaching the starting line, Captain Jeffrey hands over controls of the plane to First Officer James for takeoff. Taking control, the first officer increases the thrust of both engines to maximum, and the plane starts moving forward on the runway. While advancing on the runway, First Officer James mentions once again that the runway lights seem unusual, but still, neither he nor the captain realizes the critical mistake they have made. The plane accelerates on the runway and reaches a speed of 100 knots.
100 knots.
Checks.
Only to discover that the runway abruptly ends before the plane can lift off.
We want to rotate. Whoa!
Tragically, only First Officer James survives the painful accident. Suffering severe injuries, including brain damage, lung puncture, and multiple bone fractures, he undergoes numerous surgeries, eventually leading to the amputation of his right leg. The NTSB investigation reveals that the flight was instructed to take off from runway 22. However, the pilots mistakenly utilized runway 26, which is unsuitable for commercial flights to take off due to its short length. Consequently, as the plane attempted to take off, it reached the end of the runway, resulting in the devastating crash. The NTSB investigation attributes the primary cause of this error to both pilots being engrossed in personal conversation during the taxiway, diverting their attention from the correct runway. After the tragic crash of Comair Flight 5191, the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, conducted an investigation to determine the cause of the accident and improve aviation safety. As a result of their findings, several safety precautions and recommendations were issued to prevent similar incidents in the future. Confirmation of runway number. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, issued a safety notice mandating that both pilots and air traffic controllers must confirm the correct runway number before starting takeoff, upon reaching the runway hold position and again after reaching the runway start point. This measure aims to reduce the risk of pilots mistakenly using the wrong runway. Training on airport lighting. The FAA mandated that pilots receive training on airport lighting during nighttime takeoffs. The purpose of this training is to ensure that pilots can accurately interpret taxiway and runway lighting, helping them identify the correct runway during critical phases of flight. These safety precautions and recommendations were implemented to enhance situational awareness, communication, and adherence to proper procedures during the takeoff process. The goal is to minimize the risk of runway incursions and ensure a safer environment for all flights.